race from Vancouver with multiple reports on how these semifinal matches have turned out. So for Frank Hannigan and Ed Sneed, Steve Melnick, David Eager, this is Jack Whitaker. Thank you for being with us today at Muirfield Village Golf Course in Dublin, Ohio. And we'll see you tomorrow for the United States Amateur title.
If I thought that no one cared about the things I do in life, well, I'd still care about working hard and making it turn out right. Made in America, that means a lot to me. Oh, I believe in America and American quality. Here's to you, America, my best I give to you.
At Budweiser, we salute with pride what all Americans know in their hearts. The American workers' commitment to quality is stronger today than ever.
Here's to you, America.
Australia with the Penske cars equipped with a new Chevy engine battling. Rick Mears leading, then Fittipaldi charging, outbraking, and taking the lead. Almost immediately, the fate struck as Emo veered off course. But man mastered the moment. Fittipaldi recovered still in the lead and chased by his teammates screamed for the checker in a 1-2 Penske finish and an unprecedented win in its first outing for the new engine. In practice for the Indy 500, the fate struck again. This time a lightning bolt aimed at Rick Mears. The great champion limped away, his feet and right wrist injured. The next day, another Penske car with Paul Tracy at the wheel caught the wall. Rogers' racing costs climbed further in the race itself as both Mears and Fittipaldi fell victim to Jim Crawford's spin. With Mears sidelined with injuries, the spotlight found Paul Tracy once again. Originally scheduled for limited racing, he now had to fill the most renowned cockpit in the Indy cars. It has not been an easy journey. In Toronto, a gearbox failed, with Penske teammate Fittipaldi out just moments later. But at Rogers Track, in the Michigan 500, Paul carried the Penske banner to the front. Lap after lap, he would battle with fellow Canadian Scott Goodyear. Tracy came home in second place, but he had proved his value. Buoyed by that run, Fittipaldi picked up the Penske pace and commanded the run at Cleveland's Burke Lakefront Airport. But the joy quickly turned at Road America when Paul took this frightening ride just after taking his first pole. With Paul uninjured, Penske cars led the field to the green flag. But struggling with temperamental brakes, Paul Tracy found the giant circuit more than a handful. Off-course forays sent him down in the standings. Fittipaldi made it 2 wins in a row. Today in Vancouver, Paul must be smooth, and Emerson must win to keep his championship hopes alive. At Rogers' team, it's Penske performance time. ESPN, the world's leader in motorsports coverage, presents Speed World. The IndyCar engines have fired in British Columbia, and we're ready to go racing in the Molson Indy Vancouver. Hello and welcome, I'm Paul Page, and the heat is on at Penske Racing. On Friday, Paul Tracy just ricocheted slightly off a wall, but it was enough damage to the car to have to ship it back to England. That left Penske Racing with just 2 cars for the weekend. It's so important that Emerson Fittipaldi take a championship that Roger Penske grounded Paul Tracy for the weekend, told him he would not practice or qualify at all on Saturday. And Derek, there are other drivers with other approaches.
Well, that's right. If you look at the style of Bobby Rahal, he's a very measured, very controlled driver, very technical racing driver. He usually uses all the races of the year to gather up his points in his bid for the championship. Look at Alonso Jr. Never really spectacular in qualifying, but in a straight head-to-head race battle, Alonso Jr. has that ability to snatch success even in remote situations. Look at Michael Andretti. Very spectacular, he's fast, he's very exciting. But last year when he won the championship, he got most of his points at the second half of the season. Now the same situation is here for him again this year. However, he's further back than ever. So he now knows that to win the championship, he really has to win races. So there's a no-holds-barred approach this afternoon for Michael.
So the fight for the championship continues now in Vancouver. ESPN's coverage of the Molson Indy Vancouver is brought to you today by Toyota, reminding you to always buckle up. Do it for those who love you. By Goodyear, #1 in tires. Here's the diehard starting grid. On the pole, Michael Andretti, the defending champion at Vancouver, joins 18 others who bested the track record. Alongside is Emerson Fittipaldi, looking for 3 wins in a row. In the second row, it's Bobby Rahal, the current PPG points leader, and Mario Andretti. In row number 3, it's Al Unser Jr., currently second in the points, the 1990 winner here, and Aspen, Colorado's Eddie Cheever. In row number 4, it's Robbie Gordon, Cheever's rookie teammate, and Stefan Johansson, a rookie from Monte Carlo. In row number 5, Scott Pruitt, who is now searching for a ride next year, and John Andretti. In the 6th row, Raul Boisel driving for Dick Simon, and Danny Sullivan on the outside. In the 7th row, 2 Canadian contenders, Penske driver Paul Tracy and Scott Goodyear, the Michigan 500 winner. In row number 8, Munich, Germany's Christian Danner and Scott Brayton. In the 9th row, rookie Jimmy Vasser and Ted Trappist, both in 91 Lolas. In the 10th row, Vail, Colorado's Buddy Lazier and Japan's Hiro Matsushita. 2 more Canadians in the 11th row, kart rookie Ross Bentley and veteran John Jones. And alone in the 12th row, Benicio Salmi. IndyCar Chief Steward Wally Dallenbach is out checking the track. It looks like it will be declared as a wet start here, which may give the team some options. Let's go pit side and Gary Gerald.
Paul, that is exactly the case. Wally, in fact, has declared a wet start, meaning that all of the teams down here in the starting grid have put away the slick tires and have gone to the treaded rain tire. Now, they have put these tires on, and by declaring a start, what this means is, even though it has stopped raining, there's moisture on the track, they must take the green flag with the rain tire. Then, if they want to, they can make the decision to go back to the slicks, but they must take the green. There's been a lot of conjecture here in the last couple of minutes on pit road as to whether or not they would come in during a parade lap. They cannot do so. Let's go to Jan Beekes.
Well, Gary, it's not raining quite as hard down here now, so of course there's a lot of confusion as to what might happen. But something else to keep in mind, Michael Andretti had an engine problem. He actually had a cam cover that broke, exactly the same problem he had in the last race. They've changed the engine. They will not know until they fire that car up if that engine is going to perform today. Paul?
So many questions to be answered here as you see Michael Andretti, and we're ready to start the engines. Michael Andretti spins his car into action. On Bobby Rahal's car, the starter is ready to spin up, and revs come up to 10,000 RPM as they warm these engines. There's Buddy Lazier. He sits and ready to go. The front row, of course, Emerson Fittipaldi, and on the pole, Michael Andretti. In this morning's warm-up session, Raul Boisel was the fastest. Bobby Rahal was second quick. Eddie Cheever third quick. Now, the presumption is in most cases that's on a full fuel load.
Yes, we do think it is on a full fuel load. However, it's a very good measure of what possibly could be in store for race conditions. So Boisel, who was trying a new turbo on that car this morning, very happy with this morning's run.
So now, with Johnny Rutherford as the driver of the pace car, the PPG safety cars begin to move away in front of this field on a temporary circuit here, right off the edge of Falls Creek, a former site of a World's Fair here. And onboard cameras today. Well, Scott Goodyear, of course, will be looking over his shoulder. Al Unser Jr., we have a camera that looks right in his eyes as he works around this track. And then Bobby Rahal looking from the rear of his car. You can see the moisture accumulating on the lower control arm of that car. But it appears that the rain has left the area. Some moisture, too, on the front of the camera that is on Scott Brayton's car. For the moment, though, it looks like the skies are trying to clear, Derek.
They're trying to clear, but this racetrack, this surface, even with a small amount of moisture, is incredibly slippery. So there's a lot of cars that will go through turn 1 and the hairpin in the opening laps in a very difficult tippy-toe situation.
All right, so the field is now circling around very carefully, getting their first hints of what this course may in fact hold in store for them with a damp sky and a damp track. We'll be back for the start right after this. The first of 3 preparatory laps already complete behind the pace cars. And this track here is 10 turns, 1.677 miles around.
And a very unusual street racing circuit. Quite bumpy, very slick when wet. Just over 1.5 miles, 2 hairpins at each end, 2 difficult chicanes, turns 5 and 7 here. But top speeds in the dry here were in excess of 180 miles an hour on the run to turn 2 in qualifying.
2 very critical passing areas on this course. Let's take a look at what is on the line here today. We've already indicated the course length. 100 laps, 167.7 miles. Michael Andretti is the defending champion with a pretty good race record. The real key here is the fuel window. 38 to 42 laps, but Derek, they could really come in much earlier than that if they had to, and in fact, the fuel here could be critical.
Well, the fuel could be critical. This is one of the most difficult racetracks here on fuel, believe it or not. The reason being, there are so many slow corners that these cars have to accelerate out from a low speed. When you accelerate the mass of this racing car, it uses a lot of fuel.
All right, the weather here today, right now it is cloudy. A little rain shower passed through, but when we look to the mountains, it looks like it's going to clear out here, and we will have perhaps a clear race all day. The points fight, as it continues, where there you see Bobby Rahal, it'll leave this track still with the points lead, but the points battle is beginning to close down. And in laps led thus far this season, Michael Andretti has been the most dominant factor without question, and laps led by engine because of Michael's handling. Well, look at that. But of course the winds don't necessarily reflect that particular graph. So let's go to the pits once again. Here's Gary.
Paul, you were talking this morning about the warm-up session that was under wet conditions to start with and then began to dry. You mentioned Bosell and Rahal set the pace. The Penske camp took a very conservative approach. Paul Tracy ended up with the 6th fastest warm-up time. Emerson was in the number 10 spot. Let's go to Jan Beekes.
Well, Gary, the sun's starting to come out and it's starting to get warmer, and of course those cars are on the rain tires. If you take a close look at those, these small blocks of very soft tread that they would use in the rain will overheat very easily and they will start to chunk. If we take a look here what the crews are getting ready for, it's starting to dry. Everyone is getting ready here with slicks. I would say, look, judging by the pit lane, we may only see a lap or 2 of green. They might come immediately in for those slick tires. Paul?
That would seem quite likely, because look at here as we look at the rest of this course. Not only can we see that it is dry in this area, but you can see shadows on the track showing you that the sun has come out overhead.
I'll guarantee you within about 5 laps it will be harum-scarum time in that pit lane, because looking out from the booth here you can see, and clearly in Al Unser Jr.'s car, the light gray area is the dry pavement. These wet weather tires will not last long in these conditions.
Still running single file as we take a look at the 92 winners thus far and how they have fared, and there is the evidence of that tremendous PPG points fight leading us to the championship at the end of the season. And of course here at ESPN we will cover right up to the end of the season in the Indy cars straight on through. Now Johnny Rutherford does have the pace car. They interestingly switched the pace car at the last moment. Johnny had opted for a convertible, and then when it started raining, while they were changing the race cars to rain tires, Johnny grabbed the Cadillac and said, I think I'll put a roof over top here.
I would say at this stage the drivers are on the radio asking the crews, what will I do? The crews then said, well, tell me what the racetrack looks like. Well, to me, now it looks pretty damp here, but overall the dry line, the racing line, will be dry very, very quickly here.
A lot of pressure on this man who is so accustomed to pressure as he communicates on that radio with Paul Tracy. Emerson Fittipaldi, of course, will be starting in the front row. Now they begin to assemble to their rows of 2, and we watch to the final corner as they come off of Quebec Avenue and make the turn onto the pit straight. Nick Fenora, the starter, keeps him slowed down, flashes the green. Michael Andretti jumps into the front. Emerson Fittipaldi slides into second place. Rahal is third as they head down for the first turning area. The rest of the field comes through turn 1 nice and smooth. Turn 3, really the first chance to pass. Everybody lined up single file at this point. Michael with a little bit of a lead.
And Michael got a great jump. Look at Al Jr. pokes his nose down the inside, but Michael got a tremendous jump on Fittipaldi right up. But look at the traffic jam here, Paul.
Danny Sullivan and Paul Tracy both using a second lane to come up and pass the inside. They correctly anticipated that there would be a traffic jam on the right lane going into the corner, and look at how it's benefited the two of them as they've come well forward. Michael begins to pull away from Fittipaldi. It's still very slick there, though.
Yeah, but look at that track surface. Beginning to get light gray. It's drying out dark here, and it's a lot of wet, damp surface here. But look at the lead Michael has already. Very brave in iffy conditions.
But this race could very quickly go to the hands of the pit crews because they are running on those rain tires. And with those kind of drying conditions, they will not be able to run them long.
And we saw somebody going into the pit lane.
Let's go to Gary Gerald.
We look for Bobby Rahal, and here he is. He's the first one to come in, and he'll go to slicks with 1 lap complete. They had to start because it was declared a wet race with rain tires. Now with the track dry, the sun back out, they've gone to the slicks, and Rahal is gone.
Carl Hogan, you got a glimpse of him, the co-owner with Bobby Rahal. Look at him slam up through those gears as now he tries to catch the field. But Derek Daly, one must presume that everyone will have to do that.
Everybody will be in within 3 or 4 laps. There will be a huge traffic jam in the pit lane within the very early laps to come.
Michael Andretti out in front. He came across the line nearly 2.5 seconds ahead of Emerson Fittipaldi at the conclusion of the first lap. But keep an eye on those tires, because if you see them start to discolor, that will tell you very quickly that he's in trouble. And I would expect, there he is. Michael Andretti heads for the pits. I was about to say that he would be in any time. Jan Beekes is right there.
He brings it to a stop, Paul. They're going to change these tires. Obviously, fuel will not be a problem. This is when the crews can really change, because it is the changing of the tires time that makes a difference. I can't believe they're actually making a wing change already, yet he's only been on rain tires. Uh-oh, we have Scott Goodyear coming in. He can't get out right when he wants to. Now he's underway. Here comes Ted Travis. It is mayhem down here. Mario now also gets underway. Paul?
And Scott Goodyear comes into the pits. Again, no refueling on that car, which surprises me a little bit, Derek. I would have thought even the 1 lap done, as long as you've got the car stopped, you'd hook it up for fuel.
You're exactly right. Remember, not just 1 racing lap, 3 pace laps. So I'm surprised they didn't just put a couple of gallons in there.
Buddy Lazier, the number 21 car, works around this circuit. Emerson Fittipaldi leads it. When Rahal came off and into the pits, Al Unser Jr. moved up into 2nd place. Now consider this one. With a number of cars stopping in the pits, Paul Tracy slides into 3rd place. Danny Sullivan is 4th. You saw Tracy and Sullivan coming up through the rest of the field on the first lap. And Buddy Lazier, that 21 car, is 5th.
And Emerson did not stop. I'm surprised about that. Now, they must be monitoring exactly how fast Rahal is running on his slick tires. If he's not considerably faster than Fittipaldi, maybe they leave Emerson out on these wet weather tires. But I'm surprised he's out so long. I'd say he'll be in within a lap or 2.
Emerson Fittipaldi already encountering traffic. And John Jones, here comes Tracy. Tracy is into the pit. Gary's right there.
Paul Tracy off the Jackson running. We've got him at 10.3 seconds as he gets out. Now they'll lay out for Fittipaldi on the next lap to come in.
So with Paul Tracy in and out, it really confuses the way this field is lined up. Like already you see people like Emerson Fittipaldi, the now leader of the race, as he is passing other cars. He's not overhauled them. He's not putting them a lap down necessarily. It's because they have been in and out of the pits. And so the front of the order is somewhat confused, but we'll tell you exactly what it is. Fittipaldi, Tracy, and then this car, Michael Andretti. This was his stop just a moment ago.
And look what happens here. Michael is waiting for the signal to go. He says, come on, let me go. Now look at this. His lead man was not able to get Michael out as quickly as he would like, but Emerson is in.
Emerson Fittipaldi is in, Gary.
Same drills being repeated here now for Emerson Fittipaldi, who started from the front row. He went further than most everybody else in the field on the wet. Now he's out. We've got him at 9.8 seconds on our stop.
A total scramble for the IndyCar crews as Fittipaldi is in and out. Here's Michael Andretti on the circuit. Almost everyone now having decided that they would stop and change tires. Those not, Ross Bentley and Vinicio Salmi have not made stops. Everyone else in the field has. And so everyone is now on dry.
And Michael, who did 1 extra lap on those dry weather tires, just flew by Emerson as Emerson exit out of the pit lane here. So Michael, a considerable lead over Michael. And now look at Rahal right behind Emerson.
The battle begins now to reshape with Emerson Fittipaldi being chased by Bobby Rahal. And Rahal drying. Al Unser Jr. is right behind him.
Cold tires, warm tires. Remember, Emerson just out of the pit lane needs to block Rahal. Rahal knows he has a grip advantage, but it's difficult to pass here.
Really only 2 good opportunities to pass, otherwise concrete canyons all the way. And Al Unser Jr. comes around Rahal, takes advantage. Here's one of the places you can pass. He gets it done. Now, that is BC Stadium just ahead as you're on the pit straight. And Al Unser Jr. looking for racing room with Fittipaldi.
And look what Emerson did. He moved to the middle of the road going in through turn 1, but look at Al Jr.
A continuing battle for second place here. Fittipaldi occupies it at the moment, but here comes Al Unser Jr. with Rahal, and he flips him up into the air. Al Unser Jr. into the barrier. Fittipaldi, he's still rolling, but can he continue on? No, he's rolling to a stop as well. 2 of the contenders in the points fight, and they're in trouble already.
And Al Unser Jr. made a tremendous move to pass Rahal to get up behind Fittipaldi. Fittipaldi blocked him through turn 1. This is the end of the back straight, speeds of 175 miles an hour under braking conditions. Al Jr., we can see it in a replay, tries to sneak down the inside. There wasn't enough room for 2 cars to go in the small patch of road they both wanted.
Al Unser Jr., the first to get rolling. Here is that replay, Derek.
Again, we have a warm tire situation on Al Unser Jr.'s car. Now look at this. Emerson turns in. Watch Al Jr.'s car when they lock wheels. Up he goes. Wall of death. Lucky he didn't turn that car upside down.
Very lucky man, Al Unser Jr. And look at how well those tire barriers work for him. He is back at speed. But part of the championship may in fact have been resolved in just that instant.
And of course, we saw in that gaggle of cars Stefan Johansson, but Al Jr. so lucky to get away with that. And I'm surprised he didn't go straight to the pit lane to see if there was any damage done. But amazingly, this car is still in one piece.
Michael Andretti leads the run. Bobby Rahal, after that accident, moves up to second place. Stefan Johansson is now in third. Paul Tracy is fourth, and Mario Andretti is fifth. On-board camera view, same situation.
There's the wheel interlock. Look at this. Now look, straight into the tire wall. There's a good example how good these tire barriers are. Here it is again.
There's another replay, same thing.
My word.
How do you assign fault in that, Derek, or can you?
Well, I don't think you can assign fault in that. That's 2 aggressive people looking for the same piece of road. Emerson knew what he was going to try and do, drive defensively, but Al Jr. unfortunately fully committed himself to go down the inside, and he could not get out of that situation.
And Paul Tracy together with Mario Andretti. This is 4th and 5th place, same position. Now they're beginning to fight one another just to get back on the course. Paul can sneak around behind Mario if he can get the right selection of gears.
Exactly the same corner. It's turn 3 under heavy braking. Mario looks, he may have stalled that engine. Yes, I believe he did. I think he's dead for the moment.
When he rolled forward to try to get around Paul, and Paul Tracy's got a damaged car once again.
That's a bad omen. It's the right front suspension, which suggests that, well, maybe, yeah, obviously the right front made contact with Mario.
Keep an eye on it. Looks like the control arm's bent on both sides as they try to get Mario Andretti going in exactly the same place.
There is so little room on these street racing circuits. The speeds are so high between the concrete walls. You have to be so careful. Here's a really good replay here. Now it's Mario attacking Tracy down the inside. Oh, look at this. Mario locks those rear brakes, locks the rear brakes into a spin, and Paul Tracy is an innocent victim here of an incident with Mario Andretti. No blame on Paul Tracy.
Absolutely none. He was in fact turning away from Mario. I think he sensed that there was going to be a problem there, and Mario lit up the rears, and that got him in to Paul Tracy. Now you can see the Penske team waits for Paul Tracy to make an appearance, and Gary Gerald, as he comes in, take a look at the front.
Yeah, Paul, we can see that the right front, the wheel wasn't even rotating, and there's damage over there. The engine immediately shut off. Billy Camphausen and IndyCar officials assessing at the front, as well as Roger Penske and the Penske team, but the wheel is being unbuckled, and it appears that Paul Tracy is going to be coming out of the cockpit momentarily.
Well,
so a tough day in what's been a tough weekend, and this time, as you say, apparently an innocent victim.
Make sure you tell Roger that before he goes over to talk to him on the car itself. So Michael Andretti now has the lead. There's Roger Penske, anxious to talk to his driver, Paul Tracy. Bobby Rahal runs in second place. Johansson is third. into the first 10 laps of this race. We're now at lap number 12. Here is the interval back from the leader of the race, Michael Andretti. Well, no battle for Michael, but Bobby Rahal and Stefan Johansson are locked in a great fight right now. Now let's go down pit side. Paul Tracy, who has needed so much a very smooth day, falls innocent victim, Gary.
Well, Paul, I know that everything in the replay show that this time you're just totally an innocent victim, and it's got to be frustrating. How did you see it unfold?
No, I really didn't see it. You know, it's just, you know, all I can feel right now is just things seem to get from bad to worse for me. And the car was handling it great, the Marlboro car, and, you know, we had a good strategy. We moved up to third quick, and we're just cruising. You know, I didn't see what happened. All I know is somebody climbed over the top of me under the braking down at the hairpin, so.
I know it's been tough mentally to deal with all of these different types of distractions and the frustrations. Hope you can keep it all together for Mid-Ohio. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. We'll be back for sure, you know. We'll be back.
Thanks, Paul. Let's go to Jan Bikas.
Well, Gary, we have checked in on Al Unser Jr.'s car. We've checked into the Gallus Craco team. What we have checked into is he flew through the air. We're thinking that car must be damaged. We checked in with Alan Mertens, the designer of that car. He's now running competitive lap times. Of course, he's dropped to 13th. But believe it or not, nothing wrong with that car. Shows how strong that chassis is, the Galmer chassis. Paul?
Back at the front of the field, it's Michael Andretti. Right behind him, Fittipaldi. But Fittipaldi is actually in 16th place, 1 lap behind the leader. But for the past several laps, he has been able to keep pace with Michael Andretti. And as a matter of fact, on the last lap, turned the fastest lap that has been run thus far in the race at 106.5 miles an hour. And despite all the trouble, they are running at a record pace, 99.3 miles an hour, which compares to 93.8 as the record last year.
Mario obviously in good shape as we go on board with Scott Goodyear.
The Quaker State onboard camera. Young Canadian being forced to drive in last year's model.
Last year's car, 91 cars. Timing is everything, they say, no matter what you do. But the timing was so bad for this team when they damaged their 92 vehicle last weekend at Elkhart Lake.
So now Mario Andretti, after that contact with Paul Tracy that put Paul out, Mario came into the pits, they checked the car, did a change of tires, and they put Mario back into the fight. His son Michael, car number 1, leads this field. Bobby Rahal runs in second. Stefan Johansson runs in third place. That battle for the moment has broken off, but they could re-attack one another at any moment. Robbie Gordon is also having a wonderful day, running in fourth. And Eddie Cheever beginning to show off in fifth place.
We see Jimmy Vasser now chasing down Mario Andretti. Mario had a great run here in qualifying. He had a great code afterwards. I thought the only problem he had was there was 3 people faster than him. So Mario never changes, always wants to be number 1. Look at Johansson behind Rahal.
Looking out the back through the suspension, actually, of Bobby Rahal's car. We'll ride here as long as we can. Sometimes you can't because as they pass alongside BC Stadium, they actually go under a section of the stadium, and that takes the onboard camera out of receiver range. But Rahal is trying to hold off Johansson, and Johansson is having a terrific run.
Great run, was really good when they went to slick tires. He went on early. In fact, he was the second car to change to slicks, and that really worked to his advantage.
There's the leader of the race, Michael Andretti. Fittipaldi 1 lap behind, just behind Michael. Not in the fight, but trying to get his lap back. Here is second and third place, Rahal and Johansson.
And a great fight here. Look at these cars, the way they bump over this street surface. Under braking in particular, Johansson seems to be very, very good.
Listening to Bobby Rahal as he slices up and down through the gears. Johansson closes right in under braking, but Rahal gets to the corner a little smoother and therefore is able to accelerate better off of the corner. But look at Johansson.
Looks to me as if Johansson may be just a smidgen quicker than Rahal, but it's so difficult to pass here. Look at these long, winding right and left turns here on this 1.5-mile racetrack. So Johansson happy to follow Rahal at the moment, but a great run in Tony Bettenhausen's car.
There was one of the chances Johansson might have had to pass. Another comes up in turn 3. Let's consider this, though. Rahal is now racing with someone with whom he is not totally familiar. This is the first time they have been side by side. So for Rahal, he must play it very carefully, or you could have a repeat of some of those other situations that we had earlier that so adversely affected Al Unser Jr. and Emerson Fittipaldi, who are also contenders in the points fight. At the moment, Michael Andretti's looking solid.
Again, here is Paul Page.
It seems like everybody in Vancouver has a sailboat. In fact, in this beautiful city, you can snow ski up in the mountains in the morning in the spring and then come down and sail your sailboat in the afternoon. Stefan Johansson continues to work on Bobby Rahal, an ongoing battle for second place. Michael Andretti is the leader, then Rahal, then Stefan Johansson. Look at this. Robbie Gordon is in fourth. His teammate, Eddie Cheever, runs in fifth place. The center of the fight, though, remains with Rahal and Johansson. But here is Danny Sullivan. You got a glimpse of him with Scott Pruitt just behind him in a fight for sixth place. So it's, well, now Pruitt moves up to close in again. That's Raul Boisel there as well.
Oh, Pruitt is all over Sullivan. Sullivan had a problem in qualifying. He spun the car, very lucky not to do heavy damage. He chased the setup in this car for a long time during the sessions here. In fact, one of the good things of having two good drivers is Sullivan went one way, Al Jr. went the other, and then last night they picked the best of the two. Look at Pruitt.
Boisel got around Pruitt for seventh place, so now Boisel is on pursuit with Danny Sullivan. You were just saying that. If you're talking with the Gallus-Craco operation, Sullivan and Al Unser Jr., you're talking about a team that came to this track with a car that normally likes to run the track stiff, but it didn't like this track at all, so they split the team and went in two different directions.
Exactly, and Scott Brayton loses it, backs up into the escape rope, but he is okay, loses it underpowered, looked like, leaves two black streaks there as he accelerates away, but all looks okay.
Scott Brayton back under full power as he heads towards the underpass in the stadium. We were talking about how they split forces at Gallus-Craco.
That's right. What they did and last night for a final race setup, as we watched Scott Brayton here, they picked the best of what Al Jr. found, the best of what Sullivan found, but unfortunately the rain came this morning, so they weren't sure exactly the package they would go into the race with.
Under the viaduct by the Canby Bridge there, Scott Brayton. Now the question is, did he spin hard enough that he finds it necessary to go into the pits? And the answer is no. Let's take a look at this same situation from the onboard camera. We'll do that in just a second as we continue to watch Scott Brayton. I'm a little surprised. It looked like what we saw at the end of the spin. Here we'll see the whole thing and get an idea of whether or not he should have stopped.
Oh, look what happens. He actually gets it crossed up and locks the brakes on the way in, has a slow, lazy slide. Luckily, he didn't hit that tire wall that Al Jr. hit earlier on. But the one thing a spin can do is put a driver off his stride, and it takes him a lap or two to get back into the swing of things again.
Back at the battle for sixth place, Danny Sullivan and Raul Boisel. Remember, Boisel was quickest in the morning warm-up. They've both been battling with Scott Pruitt. Boisel got moments ago around Pruitt, and now is going to try Sullivan. Gets him to the inside. Boy, Boisel, look at Sullivan. Sullivan, as they turn onto the pit straight, comes right back to the inside.
A risky move by Boisel, but now look at Pruitt tries to gain an advantage. But Boisel, we saw him slide down the inside, was not able to make the turn. Sullivan knew that. He moved wide, turned the car, got on the power before Boisel. Great racing here in Vancouver.
The exchange almost too costly for Boisel, as now Danny Sullivan is back in sixth place. But Raul definitely let him know that he's right there. And that exchange came to the benefit of Sullivan, or to the benefit of Pruitt, because up to that point, they were actually pulling a bit away. Now, when we're talking, there's Boisel, as Danny Sullivan pulls totally off the pace. And both Pruitt and Boisel comes past.
Sullivan must be in trouble. They passed. Yes, very slow. Sullivan is in major league trouble on his way to the pits.
When you're looking at a guy like Boisel, you're looking at the Dick Simon team, a team that develops their own cars.
They do, in fact. The side parts are totally different on their Lola than any other Lola. Very like the Galmer car. So whatever they saw on the Galmer car designed by Alan Mertens, they liked it. And now it's on Boisel's and also Scott Brayton's car and Matsushita's.
As Bobby Rahal, as we're going to look again, this is what caused Danny's problem.
Okay, let's have a good close look. Does he clip the wall? Oh, he clips the wall with the left side suspension. Now, that's why he's slow. That will definitely send him for some surgery to the pit lane.
Let's go down to Danny's pits now, and Gary.
Paul, we get our first look, and on the left front side, you can see where apparently there was some damage. I don't believe, no, that wheel was flat, not rotating when they came in. They're making the tire changes and have intentions of getting him out. There was concern there might have been a gearbox problem as well. We'll find out if that problem exists now as he accelerates and leaves the pits. Everything looking pretty good as he leaves underpowered, full power.
So hopefully Danny Sullivan can come back up to full speed and fight his way back through this field. Here's this continuing battle for second place. Johansson still worrying Rahal. And with Rahal where he is in the points position, what should be his tactic in handling up Johansson?
Well, if I was Rahal and Johansson took a big lunge,
that's Danny Sullivan's tire.
That is Sullivan's tire that hit the wall. It is well flattened, well used up. In fact, I don't know whether I even see a blister on that tire or not.
I was running pretty good until it got into the wall. Didn't design for that part.
Yeah, he could come back, but remember, all he needed was about 1 more inch. That's the area there that hit the concrete barrier. 1 more inch, he would have escaped.
Update on Danny Sullivan from Gary.
Well, they're saying that he said on the radio that the car apparently jammed as he tried to hit second gear, and that problem then necessitated or apparently resulted in that loss of control when he nicked the wall.
Well, it wasn't much of a loss as we look at someone definitely under control. Stefan Johansson, he tries another run on Rahal in one of the passing areas on this track. There are only 2 that you can really get past.
We were just about to say, what if Johansson makes a big lunge down the inside? If I was Rahal, I'd let him go. Remember, Rahal needs points for this championship fight. Johansson has nothing to lose. Johansson is very good under braking, and I know he would like to have that second place.
And even if Rahal would roll to a stop at this moment, he has such a pad that he will leave this race still as the points leader no matter else what happens.
Exactly, but his biggest problem is Michael is leading. You have to be very careful. Johansson looks in a very threatening situation in the Amex-backed car.
It's been 24 laps since all of the field came into the pits to replenish tires. 24 laps. We are now 1/4 of the distance to the 100 laps. As we take a look at Michael Andretti, 100 lap distance, 167.7 miles. Michael Andretti is in the lead, and Rahal is still trying to hold off Johansson. But then is able to close right back on Rahal. But what he gains on the backside, he seems to lose between the pit straight and the second corner.
He absolutely does. Oh, he's going down the inside. Oh, he doesn't make it.
He locks the ball. He touches Rahal. Rahal head on into the barrier. Exactly what everyone would fear on that team. If he can't get that car out, then Rahal earns no points. So we have a serious situation there with Rahal, serious in terms of the points. Corner worker's there and says he's okay. You can see that. But Rahal's nose is stuck in the barrier. And look at the front suspension, Derek.
Rahal is trying to get a push out to try and get back to the pit lane. Look at, he's on the radio. Now Johansson goes down the, oh, it lifts Rahal's car right up into the air. Almost the same has happened to Al Jr. earlier on. When these wheels interlock at these speeds under braking, that's what can happen. But Rahal sits there. Here's another good look here. Now look at Johansson. He locks the brakes right there. Now he can't get out of it. His right front is in front of Rahal's left rear. Lifts him up, and Rahal goes straight into the tire barrier. Rahal's day is over, and Johansson, to me, looks as if he's still in good shape.
But exactly what you suggested. If you were Rahal, wave the guy past. Carl Hogan, the owner and co-owner with Bobby Rahal.
I would have to say,
full course yellow.
I would have to say that Rahal was taken by surprise. I don't believe he expected Johansson to make a move in that position.
And Dr. Terry Trammell outworking the course today as he is pulling some debris away from the front of the car. And Rahal's going to try to get it back to the pits, but it should only be to roll onto the trailer.
Exactly. That car is too badly damaged. It would take way too much time to fix that. Even though you get points all the way down to 12th place, I think they're just going to pull him back, take him into a safe position, and his day is over.
Let's go down a little further on the pit road, get an update on the situation with Robbie Gordon. Here's Jan Beekes.
Robbie Gordon has brought his car on pit road. He's currently running third as his teammate comes in, Eddie Cheever. He is running a 91 car just like Stefan Johansson. We asked Tom Anderson why the 91 car is all of a sudden right coming to the front. He says it's because of the fuel issue. The pace of the race, Paul, is coming back to them. Everyone else is throttling back. The 91 cars are going quicker.
Well, the pace of the race, average speed until the yellow flag, was up over 100 miles an hour, which is a full 7 miles an hour faster than the race record last year. Debbie Rahal concerned about her husband. He's all right, but the car is damaged, and he will be out of this run without a point.
Of course, what Debbie doesn't know is that all she will have heard is that he crashed straight head on into the guardrail. She can't see our monitor, so she doesn't exactly know what happened.
Here it is once again. This is the pursuit by Johansson.
Now,
looking through Rahal's suspension.
He's coming down the inside. Now he can't get out. There's the smoke from Johansson. There he hits Rahal straight into the guardrail.
So Debbie Rahal concerned for her husband as Michael Andretti, with all of this happening behind him, has a full 5-second lead over now second place Stefan Johansson.
Dave Thomas.
Debbie Rahal trying to get started. And look, Derek, he wants to get back to the pits as fast as he can. Apparently, he thinks that's fixable.
He might just do that. He's shouting, let's go, go. I want to get back to the pit lane. At least give us a chance to fix the car. There's points into the top 12 positions.
Let's go to Jan.
Paul, as those tires came off the car, this is Scott Pruitt's car. They're having a problem, some cars, with blistering of tires. Take a close look here. What's happening? This is a new compound this year that they use from Detroit. We have some weather today where they're getting a lot of grip. You talked about the pace of the race. Obviously, the pace of the race is taking the toll on tires. They are short on fuel here. What that means, Paul, is they run like crazy through the corners, really push it through the corners because they're trying to save fuel. That's what I was talking about, the 91 cars coming back to the pace of the race. So the tires has sped up the pace of the race, but yet it's made it more competitive than ever. Paul?
All right, Jan, let's consider something here as Bobby Rahal comes in and the crew will look that over. But Jan Beekes, while I have you, everyone made their stop on lap number 30. One would consider that to be way early. They were taking advantage of the yellow, the full course yellow. What do you think that's going to do to the tactics to the end of the race?
Well, actually, the fuel window was between 23 and 40, so it won't actually change the strategy whatsoever. They will actually be right on target. So now, of course, that they know what's happening to the tires, they have to say, not only, guys, do you have to save fuel, but now be careful of the tires, because this word will go up and down the pit lane.
You saw Jim Prescott as he took a look at the front of the car and shook his head. Bobby Rahal, of course, climbed out quickly, and so Bobby Rahal's day is done without a point. For IndyCar driver, there's a great deal more to do than just push the pedals and steer the automobile. Jan Beekes takes a look at the adjustments he can make from inside the cockpit.
With any high-performance car, whether it be a street car or an Indy car, they utilize an anti-roll bar. But in an Indy car, it's adjustable from the cockpit. Let's take a look at the function of an anti-roll bar. As the car would have a tendency to lean as you would come into a corner, this spring would compress, this one would droop, so therefore this would come up and this would come down. If you were to tie the two together with these rods, if it would roll, it would try and flex or twist the actual anti-roll bar. The stiffer that is, the more resistance, the less roll. Let's look at how it's adjusted. Right now, this is the full stiff setting. If we move it to the full soft setting, instead of twisting the bar, now it's the blade that actually flexes and allows the car to roll more into the corner. Now, in recent years, there's been some suspension design changes up in the front, which actually raises what they call the roll center. That causes the car to actually roll less. And because of that, it's become commonplace to actually remove this rod and not to use the bars at all. Now, of course, it makes the car handle great, but if you're a race driver, you're out on the racetrack, the handling goes off, you've got no way to change the car until you come into the pits for a pit stop.
Well, on this car, the anti-roll bars won't help.
That's right, but in a wet-dry situation like we had here today, the anti-roll bars do get used because they go to the full soft position, usually when it's very wet trying to get maximum grip. Then when it dries out, you go back to that stiff position that they normally like.
We are still under a full course yellow. Michael Andretti is still the leader of the race as we ride with Scott Goodyear. And Michael Andretti has led 28 out of 30 laps as they head toward the green flag once again. Nick Finaro gives it to him, and we are back into the fight. Michael Andretti now has Stefan Johansson right behind him.
There's Johansson there. He's actually in mid-pack. Mario's shadowing Michael at the moment, but look at Brayton takes a little sneak down the inside.
Scott Pruitt leading the field around. Mario just behind his son. There's Johansson coming through. caught a glimpse of the orange and thought that Mario was in fact Johansson. So Johansson has some distance to be able to make up if he is going to catch the leader of the race. But Bobby Rahal, the points leader, is out and is with Gary Gerald.
Indeed. Frustrated, obviously. It was Johansson.
Not frustrated, disgusted with, I mean, the guy's not even in the hunt for the championship, and he takes the championship leader out, you know, and...
what happened?
Well, I went to the corner, and he tried to dive underneath me, obviously, and just, you know, hit me right in front of my left rear wheel, and that flipped me up and put me right into the guardrail.
I guess if there's an upside, you still go out of here regardless with the championship lead.
That's no upside. You know, the thing is none of my other contenders have been taken out like that by somebody who didn't count for the championship. You know, now this, you know, we're still leading, but it's a whole new ball game, and it was by someone who really had nothing to gain or to lose by making as aggressive a move as he did.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, it may still be possible, though, as Scott Pruitt is battling with Michael Andretti, and he just about cut across the front nose of Michael a moment ago.
Well, we saw Michael get sideways under braking down at turn 3 there in an attempt to get under Scott Pruitt. He didn't get the job done. Michael will definitely be heated underneath his helmet trying to find a way. Look, he still can't find a way past Pruitt.
Pruitt takes a fast exit off of that last bend, and Michael Andretti is right there, no doubt thinking, come on, let me on through. These two have done this before. Remember Portland a year ago, the same situation where there was a concern that Pruitt was in fact holding Michael Andretti up. There is Michael's father, Mario, running just behind him, but he is not on the leader lap. Stefan Johansson runs in second place. In third is Eddie Cheever. Al Unser Jr. is in fourth. So two of the key points fighters are up in the front with Bobby Rahal out. Look how the points would close if the race ended at this moment.
A whole new championship just started when Rahal hit the guardrail, because 12 points is nothing in the chase for the championship with 3 races left to go.
The interesting thing is that Michael Andretti is defining this championship right now through his driving. But as all of the teams have suggested save Rahal, they needed Rahal to make a mistake. The mistake has been made, not necessarily Rahal's, but nevertheless Rahal is out.
And Rahal will only see it his way, and Johansson will see it his way, saying, hey, I had to go for it because I considered I was faster than Rahal. Drivers have a habit of seeing it just his way, but look at Al Jr. now, all over the back of Eddie Cheever. That's Cheever right ahead of him. Al Jr. now about to get him all the trouble he needs.
This battle is for third place. Al Unser Jr., that Galmer chassis. Now, it's a brand new chassis this year, but Derek, actually, it's been a pretty good year for the car.
You know, a lot of people talk about this car saying, yes, it is good and it is bad sometimes. Really, where have you ever seen a new car get designed that wins 2 races in its first year? So in fairness to Alan Mertens, I think this has been a very successful year. Oh, look at Bozell.
Bozell obviously caught the wall and caught it hard, and I would suspect, given position and debris, this will perhaps bring out a full course yellow. Waving yellows in the area. Take a look at the front of that car. I'll give us an idea. There are the first corner workers there, but he's in a most precarious position. Look at the safety workers pull back out of the way.
Very dangerous place. A local yellow right now. If the corner workers can move him, which they can, it will not become a full course yellow. Yes, they do. They do a very good job here.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised they're able to get that car going. Now we go back to the fight, and this is a 3-way battle for second place. Johansson has second. There he is. And right behind him is Eddie Cheever. And just behind Cheever is Little Al, as there goes Cheever.
Oh, Cheever made a brave move, and he pulled it off. 2 men here trying to make a point, trying to make a statement. Cheever is a free agent for next year, but wants to show how good he is, and this is his forte, street racing and dogfights.
Slow traffic just ahead, both of them, as the fight continues, and now Little Al is going to challenge Stefan Johansson as they come under the BC Stadium. Cheever is able to pull out a little bit, and Little Al is charging at the back of Johansson. Let's see on this next corner if he has any chance of getting him. They close down, go under braking.
Now, Johansson may have some damage from that incident he had with Bobby Rahal, because he was so good under braking in particular. Now, Cheever didn't pass him under braking, but we're going to watch how Al Jr. chisels away at about 2 or 3 car length lead that Johansson has at the moment.
Al Unser Jr.'s next big chance is turn 3, a very fast section of the course here. He works his way through turn 1.
Now, this is where Cheever passed him. He came up along behind him here. He's not going to get by Johansson here, though. Al Jr. is not.
So Al Unser Jr. tries to the inside of Johansson. Can he hold? He locks the brakes up. Al Unser Jr. takes Johansson very, very wide and moves into 3rd place. So exactly where we suspected it might happen, there it is.
Literally muscled his way past. In fact, Johansson did not want to let go, but I believe they touched. I think those 2 cars touched under braking.
So Johansson doing battle both with Eddie Cheever and then with Al Unser Jr. 2 drivers unfamiliar with him at the front of the field.
Well,
and you're absolutely right.
Al Jr. was out of control there. He's lucky he hit Johansson because he was about to run straight on. Lucky he got away with that incident. Al Jr. locked his brakes and was not going to be able to turn into that apex. Johansson was lucky he got away with that too.
The fight continues at the front of the field, but all of this fight is serving to the advantage of the leader of the race. He's led right from the beginning, Michael Andretti, who is now a full 13 seconds ahead of the new 2nd place, Eddie Cheever. The first steam-powered clock in the world, and it still runs down in Gastown here in Vancouver. Michael Andretti, look at that interval, 15.2 seconds ahead of Eddie Cheever, but that entire fight that is revolving around 2nd place is wonderful. If it ended right now, Bobby Rahal would have only a 13-point pad over the 2nd place positioner in the points fight, and that would be Michael Andretti.
Now there's a bit of a frustration level growing here for Eddie Cheever. He's following Scott Brayton. Now Scott Brayton is running in 9th place. Cheever does not seem to have the ultimate speed he needs to get by Brayton, but Al Jr. has now made 3 major lunges to try and pass Cheever, and Johansson is back up again with the back of Al Jr.
Fight continues, and it's a terrific one as you look back through the suspension of Scott Brayton's car at that 3-way battle for 2nd place. Let's go down to Gary Gerald.
Tony Bentonhausen, the question, was there damage with the contact that Stefan had with Rahal?
Yes, he says the car is handling quite badly right now. He's just trying to hang on. We apparently must have been a tie rod in the front end or something.
So what is the plan? You're just going to leave him out to do as best he can, or can you fix anything?
Well, if we got a yellow flag, we might attempt to change the tie rod.
I'm at the Nanticoke Loyalty Day Parade where he won Top Patriotic Award. Behind the beard and on top of the stilts is Lou Plotkin of Cosmic Productions of Scranton. Something I've never tried, stilts.
Oh, John, don't say that too loud. You'll have someone challenging you now. You'll have to do a sports challenge next week. What do you figure, about 10 feet tall? 9 feet tall?
9, 10 feet tall, sure. Hey, is it raining up there?
Bob Cusinelli's getting a good shot of Uncle Sam. Giving us a little perspective there.
I'll wait till you see what's coming up Main Street nowadays.
Oh.
It's Lassie. That's Lassie. A little Lassie, anyway.
My favorites. That's Welch's Sheltie Circus performing dogs. These dogs are miniature collies. Like you said, John, a little Lassie. They're known as Shelties. They're of a variety of sizes, colors, and ages, but amazingly talented dogs who perform some amazing tricks.
The Sheltie Circus is trained by Brian Timothy Welch.
Oh, look. My heart can't take it.
Billy. Come, Billy. Tom.
Hello.
Billy, down. Billy, crawl. Crawl, Billy. Crawl. Crawl, Billy. Crawl. Crawl, boy. Crawl. That's what that. Stop. Crawl, Billy. Crawl. Crawl. Crawl.
get such unconditional loyalty and devotion and love from a dog. The dog lovers out there will know what I'm talking about. They're such wonderful creatures.
Smart animals.
Yeah, trusting. They don't want anything except just to be with you. And they don't expect anything. Maybe just a dog bone now and then.
Couple of hot dogs.
Is this Faith Ann Liuzzo's School for the Performing Arts? I think it is.
Back again.
Boy, they're troopers, aren't they? Every year.
They've been a mainstay of these Pioneer Days parades, having won numerous awards for excellence. Now in their 7th year, the group is trained under the direction of Faith Ann Liuzzo, herself a championship twirler.
The students range in age from 2 through 18, and they perform throughout the northeastern United States. In beautiful royal blue today. Several students of this group performed at the 1992 Citrus Bowl and were asked to perform at Disney World and other Florida attractions during the holiday season.
They're currently state and regional title holders in the 18 dance and baton twirling competitions.
Faith Ann Liuzzo's School for the Performing Arts. John, Faith Ann Liuzzo is a very determined and dedicated professional. She had trouble with her knee. Perhaps all the dancing, all the working out, the exercising and the like. But she's the one with that knee pad on, and she continues to perform and to work with these young women, determined to pursue her calling in life, her mission. It's what she loves to do through thick and thin. I think Faith Ann has appeared in the Miss Pennsylvania pageant a couple times. But she has these girls in pretty sharp order here. They put on a good routine. Solid and consistent in step.
Well coordinated.
Got to give that lady a lot of credit working with the young people. Putting their energies towards something positive. Look at the little ones. Sequins on the little girls.
Have to love these outfits.
And the feather boas. And the faces.
On a windy day.
Yes, yes, yes. It's such a grown-up look, you know, and then you see it on these little ones.
All right. Let's hear it for Faith Ann Liuzzo, School for the Performing Arts.
Faith Ann Liuzzo, School for the Performing Arts.
Ta-da! Those are the ta-da arms. Oh, there's the flag.
Old Glory.
Boy, they have to hold on to that today, John. Really.
Wait.
Old Glory. Undulating in this crisp late summer breeze. And they're hanging on for dear life.
How that looks from, well, we know how it looks from underneath. How does it look from up above?
Yeah. Who's under there? Is that Bob Cusinelli getting that shot for us? I do believe it is. News 22 photog. There go the stars.
Nice shot, Bob.
There you get a sense of how that felt. Experiencing the parade from every angle with News 22 and WYOU. The 14th annual Carbondale Pioneer Days Parade. There's our chopper shot from above. Celestial cam, sky cam Gobla and Davy Jones bringing us that.
Just a moment after this young lady's done with her routine, the Turkey Hill Cow is making its way up Main Street.
No. Boy, she's got the moves down. That's Daria Akins. Daria is the daughter of Sonia Akins, who works for the Mogerman Orthopedic Group. She's a very talented and gifted girl, versatile young lady, varsity cheerleader and dancer for the Mountain View Eagles. She's been dancing for 11 years under the direction of Tammy Mazza. Daria Akins.
And there it is, the Turkey Hill Cow. The Turkey Hill Cow is the biggest bovine to ever travel the streets of Carbondale. Presented by the Turkey Hill Dairy of Conestoga, Pennsylvania, which operates 2 markets in Carbondale and is a familiar part of the northeastern Pennsylvania community. I could see some of those fraternity guys taking that cow sometime and leaving it on somebody's lawn. Don't get any ideas
Pearl now. Don't drop that little
Homecoming's
pearl.
coming up, you know.
The
You have a
grease
cow?
monkey.
That's right, you need a monkey if you have a cow.
Can the grease monkey be far behind?
This is the biggest monkey ever to trod the streets of Carbondale.
He's the grease monkey, representing a new automotive service of the same name, recently opened for business on Route 6 in Lakewood. Get it?
Got it. Well, that guy got up on our side.
I don't know, John. I always fix my own car. I always work on my own car.
Yeah, I know.
usually do that on Saturdays, Sundays, on my days off.
We usually push it out in the parking lot at work, too. This is the AMR Gymnastics Center of Archbald. This is their very first appearance in a Carbondale Pioneer Days Parade. The group consists of 25 gymnasts ranging in age from 6 to 18.
AMR Gymnastics Center has been in operation only for 5 years, but has placed 2 gymnasts in the top 6 places at the 1991 Pennsylvania United States Gymnastics Federation Compulsories. How's that for a title?
Long
trained the 1991 Pennsylvania State Level 7 vaulting champion. I said vaulting.
The gymnasts here today are the Spiros team and the mini team. They're directed by Rosemary Polanski and coached by Meredith Polanski and Aggie Bareka.
Wonder if we'll be seeing these young ladies in the Olympics in the years to come, John. That's how it starts. Do your girls do gymnastics, Megan and Kristen? Are they into that?
Yeah, they do. They're real good at jumping off furniture and jumping on beds and jumping out of trees. That's how it starts, too. You know?
Oh, can you hear them now at home if they have the TV on? Oh, Dad, listen to what he's saying. The AMR Gymnastics Center. Boy, they have to start young.
At this age, they have
Sure.
no fear.
No, that's exactly right. They just give it a try. They have that spirit of adventure. They go for it.
If I tried doing this now, I'd be in traction.
If I even think about it. False start.
Ducked 1 point.
Woo!
We should have our scorecards.
Channel 22 judges are pretty tough, you know. They don't give those really high grades easily.
9.
10.
It's not bad. We'll take that.
We'll take it easy, and we'll be back shortly. Don't go away. The Pioneer Days Parade continues.
The Carbondale Enterprise Zone Committee introduces you to the city of Carbondale. These are just a few of the businesses who have discovered the advantage of locating in Carbondale, with excellent financial packaging, abundant water, natural resources, energy, and a motivated workforce. Located 15 miles north of Scranton, within minutes of major interstate highways, Carbondale will be easily accessible upon the completion of the Lackawanna Valley Industrial Highway. As a newly designated Main Street community, a revitalization of the downtown is beginning. Carbondale is the Lackawanna Valley community that's perfect for your business. Call today for complete information.
They say that clothes make the person.
A girlfriend will like this.
But you don't have to get dressed for success to be on The Feud.
Name something specific that women wear that looks unbearably uncomfortable to you.
High heels.
A girdle. Pantyhose.
This is embarrassing.
Big bucks are just around the corner.
Will you be $10,000 richer?
All this week on Family Feud.
Monday afternoon at 5 on WYOU.
Discover our bank, Community Bank and Trust Company, helping to chart our community's financial course. We offer mortgages and consumer loans, discount brokerage service, drive-through banking, MAC cards and automatic teller machines, savings and checking accounts, and Saturday banking hours. Set sail today and discover our bank. Community Bank and Trust Company is your full-service community bank in Forest City, Simpson, Carbondale, and Lakewood.
Now, news on the hour from the 24-hour news source, WYOU.
Cleanup is underway in Lebanon County after a twister touched down there last night, damaging more than 20 homes. In our area, people are cleaning up downed trees after last night's heavy thunderstorms. A Nanticoke man charged with murdering Robert Klein of Wilkes-Barre back in April will stand trial. A judge has tossed out a defense request to drop all charges against 25-year-old James Milner. It'll be sunny and pleasant today, lower humidity, high in the 70s. I'm Andy Palumbo. More news in 1 hour.
Scared silence. Child abuse in northeastern Pennsylvania. Monday on News 22.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog. You saw Elvis too, huh? There's
He's been spotted.
Of Elvis all over Carbondale.
He's been seen here at the parade.
Could be Jerry Glanville, too. You know, the guy who coaches the Atlanta Falcons. He's a big fan of Elvis.
Oh,
Leaves
yeah?
tickets at the box office all the time for Elvis.
Or the campaigning Governor Bill Clinton.
That's right.
He loves Elvis, too. There he is, John.
Wise men say.
Is he going to sing? Oh, that'd be great if he did.
Man. Remember when they couldn't shoot him from the waist down? He always had to be shot from the waist up.
He was a scandal
That's
back
right.
then.
Obscene.
They never thought of MTV back in those days, I guess.
He looks pretty good for a guy who's been dead for 15 years. I've had a few.
Yeah,
but then again, the few mention I gave when I had you, so true, without exemption. I write these songs, please get said.
fill my losing. And now the tears subside. I find it all so amusing to think I did all that and the mercy. Boy, this is a cold day. Oh, no, not me. I did it my way. For what is it now? What has he got? Everybody said, and he has not. You said a word, he truly feels, and the words, and the words we need, well, like a show, I took it all, and in my way, well, like a show, I took it all, and
Wow.
Oh, real good.
Our Elvis is also known as Sean Plush, a talented young man who's performed in New York, Nashville, and throughout Pennsylvania.
Oh, Debbie, Elvis is coming over. Elvis is coming over. Wants to meet Debbie.
Oh,
You know, Debbie, I was thinking of wearing this outfit for the parade today, but Elvis called coming out.
Elvis. Fine, how are you?
Back in the day.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
You're not going to kiss me, Elvis.
This is beautiful.
Do I get any flowers, Elvis?
John gets a pie in the face and I get the roses. Thank you.
Good, Elvis. You look good. Thank you. Signing
You
autographs
sounded
and donuts
wonderful.
delight, are you? I'm glad. I'm freezing.
You gonna sing another number for us?
Oh, I might.
Thanks, Elvis. Wow. John, you get a pie in the face and I get roses.
I think I've been set up.
Thanks. Woo! Aren't they pretty?
Elvis will be signing autographs and donuts delight immediately following today's parade.
Be still my heart.
I tell you, that was quite the rendition of My Way.
He's really
If I
good.
had my eyes closed, I would have said that was Elvis.
He's really good.
Say hi to Daddy.
That guy saying, who's Elvis Presley? That's
You know who that
Brandon
is?
Carney. I thought I recognized that face. Do you know who that is?
That's our director's son.
Brandon Carney. Jack Carney's son. Jack and Kathy Carney's son. Hi,
fact,
baby cakes. Looks like he's
Last
having
week,
a good
Jack
time.
did a show, and I was wondering if his son was directing.
You know what? Wow, Jack's from Carbondale. Jack Carney. So is our producer, John Klimkevich.
The Queens Village American Legion Post 301, the Youth Marching Band.
American Legion Post's 301 Youth Marching Band. They're from New York, and they've been a favorite at Pioneer Days. Organized in 1981, the young people in this band train year-round and average 30 appearances a year throughout the eastern United States.
Hey, these guys are big time. They performed at the White House, United Nations, the National American Legion Convention in Baltimore, and aboard the USS Intrepid Space Museum. The director and founder of the band is Harvey Moder.
Part of the cost of bringing the band to today's parade is underwritten by Albert Crane, American Legion Post 221 of Carbondale. Their appearance here was arranged through American Legion 6 Stars Post 629 of Lakewood and George Reyes of Preston Park. Do you think it looks too ostentatious if I hold my roses, John? We'll be back with the Carbondale Pioneer Days Parade after these messages.
Community Bank and Trust Company has been providing quality banking services to the community for over 58 years. Community Bank is locally owned and managed so that we know firsthand the banking needs of our friends and neighbors. We have a vested interest in the economic health of our community and have made a commitment to its people and future by contributing our time and lending expertise to organizations right here at home. Community Bank and Trust Company, a tradition of community service.
Pro.
Well, I believe that would be a good law, really good law.
It's just the safe thing to do.
I think it's a good idea.
Con.
I don't think they're going to get more votes that way.
I really don't feel they are.
I think it's very unfair.
Every weeknight, it's a different question from a different town. Yours could be next. News 22's People Poll. Opinions that run the gamut. People Poll. Weeknights on News 22 at 6.
The Carbondale Enterprise Zone Committee introduces you to the city of Carbondale. These are just a few of the businesses who have discovered the advantage of locating in Carbondale, with excellent financial packaging, abundant water, natural resources, energy, and a motivated workforce. Located 15 miles north of Scranton, within minutes of major interstate highways, Carbondale will be easily accessible upon the completion of the Lackawanna Valley Industrial Highway. As a newly designated Main Street community, a revitalization of the downtown is beginning. Carbondale is the Lackawanna Valley community that's perfect for your business. Call today for complete information.
After 10 years of watching the same 5 vowels turn, aren't you ready for a change?
Hi, I'm Mary Hart.
And I'm John Tesh. Entertainment Tonight has something exciting and different every night.
From New York to Hollywood, if it's happening in show business, you'll see it first on Entertainment Tonight.
From the TV screen to the movie screen, from the stage to the recording studio, an insider's look at the entertainment world.
So look for Entertainment Tonight here on WYOU.
Beginning September the 7th.
After all, you can run out of vowels, but we'll never run out of stars.
And we're back at the Carbondale Pioneer Days Parade. And you know, what's a parade without a clown? Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 and a half with me right now. Where are you folks from?
Carbondale.
And you're with?
Jojo the Clown.
Now, what's the best thing about being a clown? I notice you have a pretty nifty mustache up here and everything, but what is it about being a clown that's so much fun? Is it the outfit or meeting the people or what?
It's the outfit and making everybody laugh, to make them a lot more happier and scoofing around.
How do you make people laugh? What's your tactic? Show them the mustache.
He fell off his bike.
Now you had told me that there were some people, some children who were throwing something at you.
It's like confetti, the tinfoil confetti.
What did you call it?
Happy sprinkles.
Happy sprinkles.
And I dance every time they threw the happy sprinkles. Hi.
Boy, that sounds pretty good to me. I don't know, Debbie John, enough of this clowning around. Back to you.
They don't have any of those whipped cream or shaving cream pies down on the street with Melissa. She got off easy, huh? Melissa and I got off easy today. John, who's that down there in front of the reviewing stands in that whiter than white? They look like martial arts people. We're trying to make that determination, but they're fun to watch. The sun came out just in time for these gals in their white duds to do their thing.
The sun always shines on this parade. Sacred Heart Junior Cheerleaders have now been identified, and that's who you are watching right now. I like their outfits.
They're really neat. Those neon-colored steering wheels. Sacred Heart Junior Cheerleaders in the driver's seat right now at the Carbondale Pioneer Days Parade before the reviewing stand. Kicking it up and shaking it up and jumping around and boogieing down.
Few have lost their hats.
Pretty dramatic finale there.
Let's hear it for the St. Rose Junior High cheerleader.
The Sacred Heart Junior Cheerleaders making their way down Main Street, followed by the Carbondale Little League A-Champs and the B-Champs as well. And we even have the Carbondale Little League T-Ball Champs all heading this way right now. The A-Champs are known as the Dodgers. They get a nice round of applause, and there you see some of the team members.
Let's hear it for the champs, folks.
Of course, the Little League World Series being played out this afternoon at Wembley Stadium, South Williamsport, as the Philippines takes on Long Beach, California.
Dodger team, the 1992 B-ball champs.
The end of the baseball season always seems to mark the end of summer. We're sorry to see it go. These guys not drinking champagne, of course, but I see a few guys with a little Perrier in the back here.
A little too early for champagne. And a little too tender of age.
Carbondale Orioles, the Dodgers, and the Dodgers T-ball team, all champions this season. It's a nice looking car. You ever think about getting a car like this?
Yeah, I'm saving up.
Doesn't move fast enough for you then.
You can see me pulling up to the station in that every day.
Oh, man. I could see that parked on Lackawanna Avenue.
Yeah.
Especially in the shape it's in right now.
Yeah, with all the construction. Not hardly.
Well, the sun's really shining off that front fender.
Ooh, gotta you two. Hi. There's some nice wheels. Look at that color.
Here comes those Karate Kids.
Uh-oh.
The only bruise on the inside. The Karate Forum of Carbondale, directed by Jack Stevens, a four-time national champion who holds a third-degree black belt in the art of Tang Soo Do.
I beg your pardon?
Tang Soo Do, I guess.
These youngsters
That
are...
means,
These guys are trained by Mr. Stevens and Robert Miller in the art of Tang Soo Do, a Korean form of karate, which requires many hours of training and involves great concentration and great discipline. John, that's a young lady amongst all these fellas.
Sure. More and more young ladies getting involved in the martial arts.
Sure. There she is with the yellow ribbons in her hair.
You don't pick on her in the schoolyard.
I see another ponytail. Karate Forum of Carbondale.
Directed by Jack Stevens, a four-time national champion.
Won't be much longer before I have my black belt.
And your fuchsia belt. And just as long as it matches your shoes.
Strictly patent leather. Yeah. John, they seem to like that yelling part.
That's the best
kids. They like that yelling.
The release of energy.
Sounds like the newsroom right before showtime.
Well, on that note, I think we're going to break one more time for a commercial, but we have plenty more parade to come here from downtown Carbondale, the 14th Pioneer Days Parade.
WYOU TV's live coverage of the 14th annual WYOU Carbondale Pioneer Days Parade will continue in a moment.
It is now official. The Scranton Wilkes-Barre Red Barons are the International League Eastern Division champions.
It's been the most fun I've ever had playing baseball. It feels great. I mean, this team's just worked hard all year with all the changes that we've had. Do what we've done is just a great accomplishment. Legger, Mick, I mean, without these guys, we wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't want to miss this for the world. Real special, a lot of work involved here, and great team effort.
Congratulations, Lee.
Thank you very much, and thank you for all your coverage. Appreciate it.
The Carbondale Enterprise Zone Committee introduces you to the city of Carbondale. These are just a few of the businesses who have discovered the advantage of locating in Carbondale with excellent financial packaging, abundant water, natural resources, energy, and a motivated workforce. Located 15 miles north of Scranton, within minutes of major interstate highways, Carbondale will be easily accessible upon the completion of the Lackawanna Valley Industrial Highway. As a newly designated Main Street community, a revitalization of the downtown is beginning. Carbondale is the Lackawanna Valley community that's perfect for your business. Call today for complete information.
Are you looking for something with growth potential? How about Garden Spot, every Thursday on News 22 at noon. Get the inside scoop on caring for your lawn and garden from News 22's garden experts. And send us your questions. Write to Garden Spot, care of WYOU-TV, 47 Public Square, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, 18701. So plant the seeds, kill the weeds, and watch Garden Spot. See how your garden grows. News 22's Garden Spot, firmly planted every Thursday on News 22 at noon.
Discover our bank, Community Bank and Trust Company, helping to chart our community's financial course. We offer mortgages and consumer loans, discount brokerage service, drive-through banking, Mac cards and automatic teller machines, savings and checking accounts, and Saturday banking hours. Set sail today and discover our bank. Community Bank and Trust Company is your full-service community bank in Forest City, Simpson, Carbondale, and Lakewood.
Bill Johnson's grocery wagon sitting before us now at the Pioneer Days Parade here in Carbondale. This entry and the Zazera supermarket float, which follows, represent the past and present in food retailing in the area. The mule-drawn vehicle is a 90-year-old produce wagon owned by Bill Johnson of Moscow, Pennsylvania. The mules are Pete and Sue, 6 and 9 years old.
This is Cesara's supermarket of Forest City. This is their float, bigger than life, shopping cart with oversized groceries, sponsored by Cesara's supermarket of Forest City. It was designed and built by Cesara employees, many of whom are riding behind the float. You'll see them shortly moving into your picture. This float won first place in the 1992 Old Home Week parade. Very unique.
They have everything on there. Nestle's Crunch,
yeah,
peanut butter, chocolate pudding,
tasty cakes.
You getting hungry yet?
Hungry now.
Me too. We serve the nicest people in town, Zazera's. Uh-oh. What is it, Halloween?
This is the Denville Mummers String Band, I believe. From northern New Jersey.
Right you are.
They bring the best witches to the Carbondale Pioneer Days Parade.
That's best witches?
Best witches.
This year's theme shows a light side of witches.
There are 30 mummers in the line of march, and their elaborate costumes are the mummers' tradition. Approximately 1,000 ostrich plumes went into making these costumes.
You don't say.
That's what it says here.
Some pretty cold ostriches then walking around, huh? The band has been in existence for over 25 years. Members ranging in age from 3 to 65.
Joe Cook is the musical director.
Denville Mummers String Band. As John said, the band is from New Jersey, but Donald Welch, who's from our area, is performing with them today.
I always think of Dom DeLuise when I see these guys.
Yeah? I get it. I get it.
The way he's dancing around out there.
You and the night and the music, John.
These wind gusts here this afternoon, these guys are lucky they don't take off at some point.
My grandfather played the banjo. T.L. Sneed. There's a very serious face. And as our witch roller skates her way behind the mummers, the Iron Temple Brass Band comes our way. Temple Brass Band has things rolling along here at the Pioneer Days Parade in Carbondale. 14th annual. Time for a little...
Yeah, don't take that nap. Don't take that nap just yet. We still have more parade to come from downtown Carbondale. Pioneer Days Parade.
Brian Kennedy's on the roof there, manning one of our cameras. Got a shot of Brian there. Covering the parade from all angles here on YOU, just for you.
WYOU TV's live coverage of the 14th annual WYOU Carbondale Pioneer Days Parade will continue in a moment.
Community Bank and Trust Company has been providing quality banking services to the community for over 58 years. Community Bank is locally owned and managed so that we know firsthand the banking needs of our friends and neighbors. We have a vested interest in the economic health of our community and have made a commitment to its people and future by contributing our time and lending expertise to organizations right here at home. Community Bank and Trust Company, a tradition of community service.
Gonna take me a sentimental journey.
Ever been delayed by a detour?
Journey home.
Postponed by PennDOT?
Sentimental journey.
Or just halted on the highway?
I'm gonna take a sentimental journey.
Avoid traffic singles. Watch the WYOU traffic alerts with KRZ's Rusty Fender. Weekdays on News 22, Daybreak.
The Carbondale Enterprise Zone Committee introduces you to the city of Carbondale. These are just a few of the businesses who have discovered the advantage of locating in Carbondale with excellent financial packaging, abundant water, natural resources, energy, and a motivated workforce. Located 15 miles north of Scranton, within minutes of major interstate highways, Carbondale will be easily accessible upon the completion of the Lackawanna Valley Industrial Highway. As a newly designated Main Street community, a revitalization of the downtown is beginning. Carbondale is the Lackawanna Valley community that's perfect for your business. Call today for complete information.
After 10 years of watching the same 5 vowels turn, aren't you ready for a change?
Hi, I'm Mary Hart.
And I'm John Tesh. Entertainment Tonight has something exciting and different every night.
From New York to Hollywood, if it's happening in show business, you'll see it first on Entertainment Tonight.
From the TV screen to the movie screen, from the stage to the recording studio, an insider's look at the entertainment world.
So look for Entertainment Tonight here on WYOU.
Beginning September the 7th.
After all, you can run out of vowels, but we'll never run out of stars.
There are some heroes, John. The American Red Cross before the reviewing stand at the Carbondale Parade today. Christopher Columbus on the Santa Maria.
This is the Carbondale Forest City chapter of the American Red Cross celebrating their 75th anniversary. That's their 75th anniversary float. And we have another parade coming up in October, Columbus Day Parade.
That's
as well,
right.
From Scranton.
Red Cross busy now in the wake of Hurricane Andrew in Florida and Louisiana. Community Medical Center, the Advanced Life Support, CMC, Mini Medic Transport Unit, getting help where it's needed as fast as it can in the business of saving lives. John, I'd know that beat anywhere.
This is the Polka Jets Band.
Polka Jets Band. Oh, I might have to find Elvis and get him down there and do a little polka.
We're having a good time up there. The Polka Jets today are performing favorite polka tunes. Debbie, here's some more trivia. The polka dance did not originate in Poland.
It didn't?
Where do you think it originated?
Well, I would have thought Poland. Where did it originate?
Bohemia. I thought everybody knew that.
Why don't they call it the Bohema? 713, the Masonic Temple. Hi there. Hi, guys. Hi. Oh, I wish the polka band would stay around for a while. Our assignment editor, Joe Clapbatch, should be here. He's the polka king.
He's not here, but we have some of our other news people here, and I think if we go to Melissa, we'll find out exactly who is here.
Well, look at this. Right here we have Eileen Kennedy and her beautiful blonde daughter, Megan. How are you, hon?
Good.
What did you think about the parade?
Well, nothing really.
Nothing really?
It was good. Yeah.
A lot of people. Did you wave to a lot of people?
Yeah.
And a lot of people waved back?
Yep.
Who's your chauffeur over here?
Mr. Perry. We got Donnie Perry.
Donnie Johnny Perry, ace producer, photographer.
Josh is with us.
Josh is driving the truck for us.
Josh is keeping us on track.
What'd you like best about the parade yourself, Donnie and Josh?
Josh, what do you like about the parade? What did you like about the parade?
Helicopter. How about
The
helicopter?
Yeah, I like the helicopter too. Actually, this is a lot of fun for all of us. Whether you're along the streets just watching or you're in the parade, it's a blast, Debbie and John.
News 22's Eileen Kennedy and her daughter, and News 22's Don Perry and his son. Don is from Carbondale as well, John.
Certainly is.
A lot
we
of our...
recruit heavily in this area.
Hi, Eileen. Hi, Eileen. Hi, Megan. Hi, Megan. Hi, Eileen. Hi, Donnie. Josh. Here comes the sun. Marion Community Hospital. Look at that sunburst. That's pretty.
The merger this year of St. Joseph's Hospital and the Carbondale General Hospital has given this community a new health care facility called the Marion Community Hospital.
Every Pioneer Days Parade has had floats from both hospitals. This year marks the debut of a new combined entry.
Now we have the Penn-Dixie Band. Penn-Dixie Band is a Dixieland jazz band under the direction of none other than Barney Williams, a trombone music major at Marywood College.
Where are they playing? Kansas City? Kansas City.
That's right.
Good.
Band members include Bud Nicholson, Jerry Kamsky, Dave Schallenberger, and Bob Blum.
Little aerial shot there of the city of Carbondale, the Pioneer City, and the Northeastern Pennsylvania Telephone Company rolls by with its float.
Which it costs more than a quarter to use that phone.
We could use that in the newsroom, a new hotline, huh? Hello? For only the most important calls.
Instead of the red phone, we have the orange phone.
Yeah. Carbondale Housing Authority float.
It's a well-built house on a day like this.
It's a representation of the high-rise on Main Street, John, from the Housing Authority there. They've added balloons to this one. Lennoxville Band. Procter & Gamble float now making their way up Main Street. global theme. Procter & Gamble.
Now this is the float coming up Main Street now that I've been waiting for all day. This is Homer's Plumbing and Heating. What does Homer have for a float? A bathtub.
An old-fashioned bathtub, a cast-iron bathtub with feet.
I'm telling you, this guy's got to be freezing. He's got to be nuts too, but he's got to be freezing.
John, they also have a commode on that float. Did you notice?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Debbie, John, I can't hear you very well, and I'm hoping that you came to me. I wanted to show you this. If Bob Cusinelli can give us a nice wide shot, I want you to take a look at this car. This is one old car, and it has not been repainted or cleaned up in any way, shape, or form. And I think you folks call yourselves the
Beverly Hillbillies.
Why? What is all this about?
What's it all about? The radio program, TV program.
And this is in celebration of that.
Yes.
Now, tell me about this car, a little bit about it.
You tell.
1933 International B3, a 1.5-ton series. It is all original. It is original motor and everything. People are really amazed because they can't believe it still runs. And here we are today to show that it does.
Well, thanks a lot. A lot of amazing things right here at the Pioneer Days Parade. And Debbie and John, I think you will agree, this is definitely one of the most amazing things.
It sure is, Melissa. Right you are. The 14th annual Pioneer Days Parade here in Carbondale, the Pioneer City. This is our third year bringing it to you live on WYOU. A new tradition for us. We've been through a lot. John survived a pie in the face.
Debbie got plenty of roses.
Which I'm thrilled about. Love roses.
Even got a kiss from Elvis.
Even a kiss from Elvis.
He's been dead 15 years.
Well, this was a group effort, as you know, and as we say every year, our director, Jack Carney, our producer, John Klinkevich, Bob Perkowski here, another director of ours, Bob Gobla in the chopper, Davy Jones, all of our photogs, Bob Cusinelli, Jim Keenan. Gosh.
I've been here since 7 o'clock this morning putting this all
So
together.
many people, so many people.
And we'd like to thank the city of Carbondale as well, all the committee members from Pioneer Days that have invited us here once again this year, and again, we've had a great time.
And best wishes to Carbondale Mayor John Moran, who's recuperating from recent surgery, had his appendix out last week, I believe. You're in our thoughts and prayers. Mayor Moran, best to you. Thanks again, Carbondale. We'll see you next year. Have a terrific weekend.
Yeah, have a nice Saturday. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The 14th annual WYOU Carbondale Pioneer Days Parade has been brought to you in part by Community Bank and Trust Company and the Carbondale Enterprise Development Zone Committee.
The safety of your car starts with your brakes. Keeping your brakes in perfect shape starts at the Brake Shop in Blakely and Kingston. We work from the ground up, starting with a brake inspection that's free for most cars. And we offer a lifetime warranty on all new pads, brake shoes, and related labor. From resurfacing rotors and drums to checking master cylinder, rotors, hoses, seals, wheel cylinders, and lines. The Brake Shop technicians do it all. But we don't stop there. The Brake Shop also offers shocks, struts, and state inspections. Stop in today for your free brake inspection. The Brake Shop. Our name says it all.
Now, news on the hour from the 24-hour news source, WYOU.
Fire crews are cleaning up after a blaze in a mini mall in Lords Valley, Pike County earlier today. A Scranton man facing a string of morals charges. Police say 30-year-old Walter Zindel of Warren Street was allegedly having sex with a 7-year-old girl. And another Scranton man, Bernard Ward of Roche Court, is also facing morals charges for allegedly fondling a 13-year-old girl. Lots of sun today. It'll be cooler tonight. I'm Andy Palumbo. We'll have more news in 1 hour.
Relive history or see it for the first time. Friday Flashback. Fridays on News 22 at 6.
Have a lot on their own shoulders.
Yeah, and that last series, that's what Milwaukee would like to put themselves in positions.
We now join CBS Sports coverage of Major League Baseball, already in progress.
Double barrel action in the Milwaukee bullpen. One ball and one strike. The right-hander is Darren Holmes on the left and Jesse Orozco, former Met. Pitched for them when David Cone was there. He is the left-hander. 1-2 now to Derek Bell. Suffered a broken wrist in the first week of the season, went on the disabled list, but has settled down. He had a solid drive his last time up. That was corralled by Bourne on the warning track in left center field. But this time Bell goes down, and that is the 7th strikeout for Bosio, and there are 2 down.
He snuck a couple of fastballs by Blue Jays hitters, but primarily it's been that down and away zone. He gets ahead and gets him to chase that slider just out of the strike zone.
Bosio, looking for his 12th win of the year, has 1 shutout, leading 3-0 here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Roberto Alomar bunted his way on his last time up. That was the only Blue Jays threat of the game. They had runners at first and second and 1 out, but Bosio bore down and struck out Winfield and Olrud to end that uprising. Strike. Well, tonight, NFL preseason action. The Minnesota Vikings. What kind of great preseason under Dennis Green in his first year as head coach. The Vikings have just ripped everyone they played against the Washington Redskins, the defending Super Bowl champions, tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern time, right here on CBS. Sharply hit, maybe in the gap, and it is. Extra bases for Alomar, rounding second, and he's heading for third, and he'll be in there with a sliding play, a triple for Alomar. Only the 3rd hit off of Chris Bosio, and it comes with 2 out here in the 6th.
You set your team in the field according to pitchers making good pitches, not mistakes. And that's why Yount was over in left center field. Figured if Bosio got the pitch out there, he'd hit it to left center. But it hung a little bit inside, and Roberto pulled it to the alley in right center.
That's the 7th triple of the year for Alomar. He's amongst the league leaders. So with 2 out, a runner at third, here's Joe Carter. Is guarding the line at third. Outfield around on the left. And Carter tries to bunt the runner home. And with the infield playing deep, I don't know. He's a slugger. He's not supposed to bunt.
He's a slugger. Yeah, I kind of scratched my head on that because he's got a lot of home runs. But I guess Joe Carter's thinking is, we are 3 runs down. If I can get a bunt base hit, the hitter behind me, Dave Winfield, has 22 home runs. But most of the time managers don't want you to leave it up to the guy behind you, but you know, try to get a run home any way you can right now.
There's a drive hit deep to left field. Way back, it's gone. A home run for Joe Carter. Home run for Carter, and it's a 3-2 ball game now. That's more Joe Carter's style.
Pretty good setup right there. Show bunt, then come back on the next pitch. And they're going back inside again. I mean, that's Joe Carter's area. And they must have, maybe they wanted to get it way in. I'll tell you, the ball's on the inside half of the plate early in the count to Joe Carter. A lot of them end up there, as that one did. He is very quick on the inside strike.
RBIs number 89 and 90 for Carter. He's amongst the league leaders in homers and RBIs, and now the Brewers' lead has been cut to 3-2. And with 2 out, here's a fella that can tie it up with one swing, Dave Winfield. Winfield hit a 3-run homer to give the Blue Jays the big margin in Thursday's series opener in support of Jack Morris. Swings and misses on a sharp breaking ball, 0-1. Winfield has had his troubles against Bosio today. Twice has been called out on strikes. So it's 3-2 now in favor of the Brewers here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Winfield is having his problems with Bosio today.
Tough pitcher for Dave Winfield, because Bosio can tease you with that tantalizing breaking ball, and Winfield with that big hitch in his swing, once he gets it started, he can't hold up on that pitch low and away.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Slowly hit back to the mound. Bosio makes the play. But with 2 out here in the 6th inning, Alomar tripled and Carter is a 2-run homer, and now a 1-run game as we move to the 7th inning.
Even with shift on the fly 4-wheel drive. High-track independent front suspension. And a rugged fuel-injected V6. There are still some places you'd never dream of taking your family unless you owned a Toyota 4Runner. Go ahead, put yourself out there.
Perspiration's okay when you're playing tennis, but not when you're close.
If a guy smells, it's such a turn-off.
Get a little closer with Arid, the anti-odor antiperspirant that helps keep you extra, extra dry.
Yeah, I trust Arid.
The Dream Team. America's finest took on the world and won. They were bound by a common past, a common goal, and a common thread. For 75 years, Champion has made America's uniform, and we're proud to have made the uniforms for the team that brought home the dream. It takes a little more to make a champion.
You start it every morning. Start after start after start. When most of your oil is still down in the pan, you start metal-to-metal contact. You start engine wear. Now help stop it with the latest breakthrough from STP. New engine treatment. It bonds right to engine parts. Independent tests proved it. Just add a quart at your next oil change and help stop engine wear before you start with new STP engine treatment.
CBS Sports presents Major League Baseball. Today's game is brought to you by Toyota, reminding you to buckle up. Do it for those who love you. Rolaids. Rolaids spells 100% relief. And by STP, the makers of Prestone Advanced Formula Antifreeze.
2 good races in the National League East and West. Pirates with a 2.5-game lead over Montreal. Both teams losing last night. And the Pirates and the Expos will have some important head-to-head confrontations coming up in the final month. 4 games, 2 in Pittsburgh and 2 in Montreal.
Cubs like to hang right there and take advantage of those.
No one thought the Expos would go this far in this race, for sure. So after 6 innings, the Brewers 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors. The Blue Jays 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. Scott Fletcher goes around, says first base umpire Larry Young, and it's strike 1 to him. Fletcher is 0 for 2 today. 3-2, the Brewers in front. Sharply hit, but foul down the left field line.
Scott Fletcher, you mentioned in his last at bat, really chokes the bat up. David Cone with not his usual high strikeout total against this Brewer team. They are the kind of guys that will shorten up on the bat. Listash will do it a little bit, just trying to make contact. You mentioned they lead the league in sacrifice flies. You know, it'd be interesting to see David Cone on a good day against a team like the Tigers. You might see some high totals in.
0-2 pitch. Lays off the slider outside 1 and 2. Fletcher became available when the White Sox acquired Steve Sachs from the Yankees. And the Brewers are pretty much pleased that he did become available.
1 more strike, Dave. 1 more strike.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
You look at him in the bottom of the lineup and you don't think of him as a hitter, but a few years ago, here's Scott Fletcher, who led the Rangers in batting average 3 straight years when he was down in Texas.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Fletcher. Jim Gantner on deck. We're in the 7th inning. And the count runs full 3 and 2. Big John Candy, one of the owners of the Toronto Argonauts of the Canadian Football League. Big John Candy.
They've had a few Candy men come through here besides him. Candiotti and Candelaria. There's the big Candy man.
All 4, and so Fletcher draws a walk. That is the 5th walk given up by Cone. He has also struck out 5. And the leadoff man is aboard for the Brewers. Fletcher, with the threat to run, has been successful 14 of 21 tries.
Similar at bat to what Pat Listash had back in the 5th inning when the Brewers scored a couple. Got behind 2 strikes and battled long enough to get a walk.
Looking at John Candy. Of course, his Argonauts haven't fared that well. They won the Grey Cup last season. They're only 3 and 5 this year, and Rocket Ismail has missed the last 3 games with an injury. They're not doing as well as the Blue Jays.
I think those throws right there, Borders looked into the Blue Jays dugout immediately. They're trying to see once whether Gantner will commit and show bunt. They'd like to know whether he's going to bunt right here. Now he's going to trot out to have a word with Cone about it. Blue Jays probably make more trips to the mound and have more of these kind of meetings than any team in the American League. Galen Cisco will go out there from time to time, but